Yeah.
She was an FBI agent. She was also like a kick-ass beauty pageant woman.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. Reese without her spoon. You came over to Kaylee's house one day when she was like, we didn't go to school. Which is a regular thing for me.
Regular thing.
And we like immersed you into the One Direction. Like,
you did. Yes.
That was a lot of fun. Because I've never been able to like get someone to come over to the dark side, and it was quite like satisfying to finally. Okay, so you have multiple passions in life. Tell me some of them.
A passion would be children. Mm-hmm. I've always loved children, hanging out with children.
Yeah.
It makes me feel young being around them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel 25.
Right.
And, then I get to hang out with my friends, and I'm like, oh, I am
25
and I can go out to bars or something and have fun. But I've always liked hanging out with children. Definitely the big sister role. Mm-hmm. And just because, like, I'm the youngest of 4, and so...
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah. I kind of wish I had a younger sibling just because...
Yeah. I'm an only child.
Yeah. Well, just because there is such an age gap between me and my siblings, like, I just wanted, my own little buddy.
Mm-hmm. I totally get that.
Photography, I don't know.
That's right. Didn't you take some of Kaylee's senior pictures?
I didn't take her senior pictures. I did take Ashlyn Turnbull's senior pictures. Out of like all of the social media, I really like Instagram just because I like looking at pictures and following different people around the world and what they can do and what they can see.
Twitter is just like a big old pot full of just drama.
Yeah.
And it's like,
melting pot of drama.
Yes. We were talking about the Ankh, which is, like the cross with the semicircle on top. And I found it so refreshing. And maybe it's because I grew up in the South, and all of the religious people that I've ever been around, like, they're very focused on, like, Christianity is like the only thing, which I can't blame them for that because that's all that they've grown up with. Mm-hmm. But it's so refreshing to meet someone who can say, yes, I'm a proud Christian, but I also want to learn about other religions. And I find that very admirable.
My family thinks I'm kind of weird, but I really believe in like the chi. Okay. So I want to like live in a house that faces east. Okay. In which I'm really happy your place faces east.
Does it really?
Yeah. So like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. The majority of people look at life from one perspective because that's the only perspective they've known. Mm-hmm. Whether it's they grew up really, healthy and they've never had to work for anything, or it's the exact opposite and everything is pretty much a game of survival. Mm-hmm. And if you just shift your perspective even just a little bit, it can help. There's a lot of people at certain high schools that they've never had to work for anything, and they've never had to think like, I may go to bed hungry tonight. Like, there's some people who have never been hungry. You know what I mean? And I don't mean like, I have to wait 30 more minutes for lunch. Like,
months.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like, oh, they should know what it's like to feel hunger, but like, even like you said, volunteering and being able to see that there are people who are struggling out there. There's people who don't have money to feed their kids. There's people who don't have money to get books for their kids, and that's a reality that other people are living. And some people choose to put their blinders on and just not even notice it. And there's other people who are just completely aloof to the fact that there's other people in this world who are struggling. So I think volunteering is probably like a number one way that, I would consider us in the same generation. Yeah. Our generation can really integrate that change in perspective into our daily lives. Mm-hmm.
Going on a mission trip to Kenya. Mm-hmm. I've done that twice.
Wow.
And really does open up your eyes to what, right before we lost my grandfather, and it was so hard for me, but going on that trip was really good, and it just, like, made that trip even better, because, like, you know, I, like, saw his presence there, and he even, like, helped pay for it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it just meant a lot, and then, like, but traveling over there, the airport is, like, completely open, like, glass windows all around.
Wow.
But then they have an area for Muslims to, like, go pray. And so, like,
Wow.
that was
Yeah.
eye-opening enough to be like, all right, like,
I'm in a different country.
Yeah. You know, like, this is not Kansas anymore. Like,
going from, you know, each one of us, and this goes back to saying that each one of us lives a different reality and a different perspective. But each one of us gets to choose what we want to do each day. And there's so many different countries around the world that's not really an option for them.
No.
Like, you are born into a certain system. You are, in the morning you do this, at night you do this, and you get up and you do the same thing the next day.
Yeah.
And I even think just going from, like, Roswell into Atlanta, like, that's enough of a culture shock, but I can't imagine going from the U.S. to, I mean, is Kenya technically a third world country?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Haiti is.
Haiti. Okay. Kaylee's going there this summer.
Yeah, and Kaylee's going there this summer, and I thought I would be able to go, but, you know, work.
Yeah.
Adult problems.
I thank anyone who is willing to come on the show, but who's willing to just listen to me babble about, like, how much that this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Like, I'm so indecisive that I don't know. At 25, I still don't know what I want to do, and I constantly change my mind. But as I'm trying to figure out, I still put my all in other people.
Yeah.
And I know I should work on myself, but, like, I'm not a selfish person. Like, I could.
And I sense that about you, and that's something that not a lot of people have. And to not be selfish in such a self-obsessed world is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many things that, and this is not, like, a new idea, but there's so many different things that there's people in our generation don't know how to do. And I'm not saying you don't know how to do healthcare, but, like, I don't know how to.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really know how to pay for a mortgage. I don't really know how to balance a checkbook.
No, and, like, that's the thing that frustrated with me with school.
Yeah. There's so many things you will never use.
Never use.
Yeah. That's such a special day.
It is.
Yeah.
And, like, I just can't.
I can't wait to get married.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Can't wait. And one of my best friends is getting married next summer. And I'm so excited for her. And I mean, like, really half the people I've graduated with are already married or about to be married or dating someone that
they're probably going to marry.
Marry. And, like, I'm so excited for them, but it's just like
I'm really excited for them.
I'm really excited for them. I really am. But it's just like, you know, well, my mom's always like, you never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, today I couldn't meet someone that it's like, oh goodness, I look like this, and they're gonna remember me like that.
But see, this is what I have to remind myself of, because coming from a place of, like, not having the best self-confidence and having to, like, come out of having to break through these walls that people have built up saying this is what pretty is and this is what polished is, and, you know, when the right person
Yeah.
comes around, they will not care.
Yeah.
And because that won't matter to them.
Finding my husband, it's like I want to put out a search party.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to do some like magic to be like Shazam.
Yeah.
Like, come here. But it's like, I know once I find him, it'll
make it worth it.
It'll make it worth it.
Yeah. Being able to bring people onto the show and be like connect with them. That's the name of the show, Connective Commentary. I want people to connect.
Yeah.
And I want people to like I want people to connect, really is the best way to put it.